All right, so now I'm about to go off on a major tangent. David here is talking to someone mysteriously. We do not know who. We will later realize it is Wayland. In the script, there is like a 4-page sequence where essentially David is walking along a white sandy beach and he gets this gorgeous woman in a bikini, picks him up on like a wave runner or a jet ski. He hops on, they scoot out to a yacht, and then he gets off, and then he has this scene with Peter Wayland, played by Guy Pearce in Guy Pearce's glory. Guy Pearce is a fantastically bronzed, beautiful 40-year-old man. And so the idea that David would have the scene with him. And in that scene, Guy Pearce tells him, and I'm saying Guy Pearce because I want you to differentiate that from the aged Wayland that we saw at the beginning of the movie. He basically tells him, do whatever it takes to get me what I want. And so now David comes out of that scene and explains to Vickers that he told me to try harder, but we're still, in the old version, obviously, the audience would understand Wayland is on the ship. In this version, we're just kind of hinting at it, so it's a lot more mysterious.
Cup of tea, Mom.
When a character is asleep, we're essentially able to infiltrate or see their dreams, what it is they're thinking about, and that other characters are able to enter those. And so Michael Fassbender, his character, David, comes to see me at one point, basically to say, we're nearly there, but we're not quite there yet, sir. And I basically say to him, well, don't wake me up until we're ready to go, until you've discovered what it is I want you to discover. And so we find Wayland living in this fantasy world of being on a yacht in a fabulous kind of perhaps Caribbean or tropical setting with lovely, luscious women around him, all tanned and looking fabulous, and basically just sort of reliving the life that he would if he could.
We would have to see him in the dream as he would see himself, not as he is, but as he was. And for Wayland, Ridley always wanted him on a kind of dreamy, almost off-worldly yacht with all of the toys and playthings you can imagine. And we drew that up. We modeled something which was a kind of futuristic hydrofoil design. So it was fun to design and conceive, but it never made it to the screen. In the end, we had to make Guy Pearce look ancient and decrepit.
Ridley didn't shoot it. He didn't think that we needed it. And I kind of agree with him, but I would have loved to have seen it in the movie. And the reason why is, if Guy Pearce is gonna be in old age makeup playing a 100-year-old man, you kind of wonder, like, why didn't we cast a 100-year-old man or an old dude? And the answer was because we needed to also play him as a 40-year-old. That's why we did the old age makeup, except we ended up not shooting that scene. And I think not shooting it, you're obviously able to keep the movie in space, keep the movie moving. It's yet another dialogue scene between two people. It would have spoiled the Wayland surprise. So the choices were all made for awesome reasons.
You know, the process that I had to go through was quite a lot of prosthetic makeup in order to look as old. You know, it was basically around about the 100-year mark. So it was important to find a way to make that look as realistic as possible, which, you know, the prosthetics team did an incredible job, but, you know, it takes 5 hours in the makeup chair to sort of get it there.
I was a lot younger when I first sat down in this makeup chair. Just an indication of how bloody long we've been sitting here.
The difficult thing about playing somebody who's a lot older than yourself is that people know how old I am, they know what I look like, so there's always going to be scrutiny anyway.
I must hide myself away.
I mean, I remember sort of saying to Ridley, why aren't you just casting some old bloke? But it was important for him at the time to find somebody who sort of had a youthful quality, I suppose, that comes through, but at the same time managed something that was seemingly realistic.
May I rest in peace?